Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another live edition of the Roundtable, coming to you from the WWDBTV studios in the heart of a very chilly Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Aaron Phillips.
That's it.
I'm the voice. That is the mouth, Mr. George Miklos. And you'll notice in his absence here, Rick, are you under? No, he's not under the table. Mr. Rick Upchurch is not with us this week. He is taking care of.
He wasn't able to make bail.
He was. He wasn't able to make
He's
bail.
in a Nashville jail, right?
Yes, he's in Nashville. He's in Tennessee taking care of some business. We miss him, and I know he'll be back in studio with us next week. So George and I get to hold down the fort, and boy, have we got stuff ready for you. How are you? How are you doing this week?
Some stuff. Doing
Some
good.
stuff. We got stuff.
Working at the ARIA this week, convention.
Right.
And we got NASCAR weekend
What convention is in town at the ARIA now?
It's called SF Vegas. I mean, it's all these tech companies, software companies, all these kind of companies that come here, and I've never heard of them, but it's all these corporate companies that have to do with the computer age and that kind of
So
stuff.
like a mini CES maybe?
Well, yeah, kind of. It's those little companies that they usually have employees, mainly employees, and they'll have training and meetings set up, and they feed them real well, and they're from all over the world. And also NASCAR is here.
Yeah,
this
NASCAR
weekend.
is in town this week, right?
I've actually we have a team out there at the racetrack for if anybody watches those races out there. And when you see the infield and all those RVs in the middle, it's like 500, 600, 700 of them. My team out there, we're out there screening them. We have K9 units that go around, and then we go check and peek and make the.
How early do you have to start that in the day? That's it. I remember in the past, I've had to be there like 6 a.m. when I took clients.
Well, if you want to get there early, yeah, but we don't start until 9. So it's they start checking from 9 until midnight.
Gotcha.
Yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Right on. Wow.
And then the first race is on Saturday. And what a party. These RVs that pull in, these people with these RVs, it's incredible.
They're homes.
They are. They cost more than my house. Marble flooring. I was scared, and it rained really hard yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a muddy area where we were at. So climbing into these things, most people go, go ahead, who cares? They're already started, But no, it's been a busy week.
Right on.
So everything's good.
Good. Hey, just want to remind everybody that we finally paid the phone bill around here. So give us a call during the show, 702-992-3207. Comment on anything that we're talking about. If you want to bring up something that you would like our opinion on, please, by all means, do so. Besides, no one's called yet for us to test the phone system. No, I'm only kidding. Call in, talk to us.
Yes.
Be part of the show. Now, it is the beginning of Women's Month, Women's History Month.
That's right.
Right? We got stuff on that. I found a little article about street names around the world that people believe are more famous than the Las Vegas Strip.
That's crazy. I want to hear this.
All right. We got America Speaks coming up a little later.
That's right. Oh, it's going to be interesting.
The hottest segment that is going around on the internet now, America Speaks. Just want to remind everybody, if you are watching us right now visually, thank you so much. If you have to leave the house, however, download the WWDBTV phone app if you have an Android. If you have an Apple product, though, WWDBTV LV must be added. Tonight's show is, of course, presented to you courtesy of Planet Harvest Health. PlanetHarvestHealth.com is all the CBDs and seasonings and coffee that will help you feel better to go along with True IQ products that has helped George get into shape. And, of course, the secret that maybe Rick is finally trying to find out what the secret is.
I think we're starting to hear a little bit more about this.
Yes, I think so.
But you have no excuse, everybody. You can take us to the bathroom now. 24 hours a day, you can hear and listen to us.
As long as we don't hear back when they flush.
Yeah, don't.
Right. Just make sure the mute button's off.
That's right. Exactly.
Call in.
That's right. And of course, if you missed the show or want to revisit anything that we've spoken about, you can again stay on our Facebook page. You can go to WWDBTV.com on YouTube. You can go to the Roundtable YouTube channel. What's even cooler, we're on Roku.
I love saying that word.
I know.
Roku.
WWDBTV has a Roku channel. Not only will you see the Roundtable, you'll see Thoughts Can Anywhere, Aaron's Hour, The Debt Lifeline, Kiwanis Connects, cybersecurity, all sorts. Doing it in styles.
Yes, doing it in styles.
I got to give the producer a plug,
right?
So there's a lot of great shows out there that you can watch. Take your time because I'll tell you what, and let your friends know about it. Hi there. I'm a little high. The camera's a little low. Hi there.
Yeah, there you are.
Anyway, let all your friends know about the channel when you find some good stuff that you'd like to watch. All right. Where'd you like to start, Ken? Do you want to start with women's history? I mean, it's history.
Yeah, in fact, please do, because I actually a short film I did. I told you I did a short film a few months ago.
Yes.
Female director. She's a award-winning filmmaker. I was pleased to have been a part of 2 of her films, and she's entering them in all kinds of film festivals all over the world. So celebrating Women's Month. So
I'm so glad you brought that up because Deborah Richards is a local film producer and director. And I interviewed her, I don't know, 6-7 months ago as she was finishing up her movie called Move Me No Mountain.
Right.
And it's an interesting story, real estate agent. And, it's one of these gets into trouble. The girl goes down paths that she shouldn't have gone, making wrong decisions, right decisions, but how she recovers from it. Anyway, so the movie was completed. They did a whole big red carpet thing a while back. Now the movie's out on Amazon Prime.
Wow.
So I'm glad it's a great segue because Deborah Richards is going to be one of my guests this Saturday Hours Hour.
Oh, wow.
So I thank you for the segue.
About her for over the last few years.
She's great. We had a good time when I interviewed her for the first time, and now we'll be able to kind of do the follow-up interview with her because now it's out. It's on Amazon. I think we have a visual of it when we do the show on Saturday. It's like $2.99 to rent it on Amazon Prime. So it's a great movie. So I'm glad you mentioned directors. That was just an easy way for me to plug those people.
I have a use around here.
That's what you do. You have a big use, man. Hi, Denise. I know you're watching to make sure he stays in line tonight.
That's it.
Yeah.
Dressed well.
So let's start. Now, we just got done celebrating Black History Month.
Yep.
Although, again, we should really be celebrating everybody every day.
Right.
However, so that was Black History Month. This month starts Women's History Month, which I got to be honest, it's been around since like 1978. I think it was Jimmy Carter.
I was going to ask you. It's just I had never heard they had a specific month.
Yep. This March marks the 34th annual Women's History Month, which means we'll be celebrating strong female role models. And if memory serves from what I read in the backstory on this, it was President Carter back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Late 70s or however the math works out. He's the one that, I think it was originally like women's celebrating Women Day or something, and then it progressed into the month. So I printed off an article that lists 16 iconic female figures that can be celebrated during this time. But these were a list of 16 women really through the course of history.
Just random that you found on the internet?
Well, this is courtesy of, let's see, I believe this was courtesy of the History Channel.
Okay.
So thank you to them. So I'm just going to read them 1 through 16, but I don't know if they're numbered that way in particular. So number 1.
Is Wonder Woman on the list?
I wish you, and Batgirl. I wish.
Batgirl, Yvonne DiCarlo.
There's a great Facebook page about Batman, and people have been, I'm sorry, I'm salivating. I'm going to take it off track.
So do we get to stop and discuss these?
Whichever one floats your boat.
Just one just pops up.
Number 1 on this list, Susan B. Anthony. For those who don't know, she was a women's rights activist known for her work during the suffrage movement in the early 1800s. Led by the Quaker teachings that every human is equal, she began collecting anti-slavery positions at the age of 17.
Wow.
So she's been out there for a long time.
Yeah. Wow.
So
she's actually on the quarter or the half dollar or the quarter.
I think it's not the quarter.
Dollar.
The dollar.
Right? That's
right. Susan B. Anthony dollar.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, that makes sense. Would be silly if she wasn't on the Susan B. Anthony dollar.
Right. Comedy at its finest.
That's
and I'm out of work.
Now, this next one was actually one because most of you probably know by now that I spent time as a tutor in an elementary school.
Right.
And I work with kids, and we read passages of, and we did one called Brave Americans. And 5 brave Americans over history are read about, and one of them is Miss Sally Ride. So this is great that it's coming back. She was America's first female astronaut in 1983.
Very interesting you brought her. I'm glad she made the list.
Yeah.
Now, her personal life was kept under wraps for forever. I don't know if you're familiar with that story. She's had the same partner, same-sex partner for 30-some years.
Yep.
And she was one of the brightest astronauts we ever had. But just think if they had known maybe possibly about her personal life back at that time, what would they have done, or would they have done anything at all?
Right.
But she was one of those women, had good character, strong work ethic and morals, and she was brave enough to live her life without having to use anything but her professionalism to get where she was at.
And that's great. I mean, she did her thing pursuant to her knowledge and ability, which I think is
Correct.
terrific. Who's that? Alfonso. That's our buddy. Listen, Alfonso, V360 Digital Media. Right. So thank you, bud. Good to see you, my
Did you
friend.
say hello, RoundTable?
Yeah.
I can read it. Oh my God.
Must be the sunglasses on the
It
top of your
might
head.
be right.
Reflected.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, that's all right.
That's right.
So, Fonzie, thanks for checking inside of Sable. Where's my buddy Riley? I created a new star on Saturday. I don't know if you saw much of the shows, but we had a lot of fun with their son Riley at the card show.
Oh, I did.
You
Saw
see a
some
little bit?
photos. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Riley, if you're watching, and everybody, thank you. All right. So Sally Ride, I think she passed away at the age of 61 from cancer. I think
Right.
is what it was.
Not that long ago.
No, not too long ago. All right. The next one, I don't know if it's really. Well, I'll get your reaction to it. Serena Williams.
Funny you mentioned her. I just did a convention where she was the guest speaker, I don't know, 3-4 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a great athlete, great tennis player, and she broke barriers, in that sport, definitely. Her and her sister.
Right.
So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Edith Wharton comes up on the list, novelist and writer, known for her portrayal of New York's upper class, and became the first woman to win a Pulitzer Prize in 1921 for her novel, The Age of Innocence.
Wow.
She was also nominated for the Nobel Prize in Literature in 27, 28, and 1930, and was inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame in 96, almost 30 years after her death.
See, that bothers me. Things like that,
Sure.
Especially like in the Hall of Fame in sports and all that.
Right.
They wait 20, 30 years till after they die before they recognize them. What is the point of that?
Well,
Really?
it depends.
Why can't you do it while they're alive so they can enjoy the recognition that they
accolades.
deserve? Yes.
Here's one that I think will happen in the same scenario after this individual passes. As a sports fan, I think Pete Rose will get into the Baseball Hall of Fame after he passes.
I was just thinking.
And
that.
And I believe that for a long time.
Yeah.
Baseball doesn't want to give him the satisfaction of enjoying being a Hall of
that's
Famer.
the punishment
Right.
that they're giving him.
Yep.
For, I don't know, that's 30 years ago. Stop. Really, it bothers me.
But you know what? The people who vote these folks in, like in the case of baseball, it's the Baseball Writers Association. I think it's 134 people that are part of that. They have long memories. They have memories of like an elephant. They don't.
Some of
forget
those
stuff.
guys weren't even born when he played,
But,
so that
if
really
they're
makes you
smart,
mad.
they know the history of
Right.
baseball. So I think that's where, or even if they did vote, there's still going to be a lot of the naysayers out there versus the ones that say, you know what, let's put him in already.
Right.
So anyway, Aretha Franklin's made the list.
Yeah.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg's made the list.
Okay.
Kamala Harris made the list, or however she.
Wait a second.
All right, let me
Just-
back up.
Can you rip that page up live on air? Oh my God.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Here you go. I'll take it out of my stapled notes.
Yes.
I will allow you to do that so that
Yes.
all the emails can go to him.
Right. It has nothing to do with anything but her performance as vice president. Okay, that's
And George, don't forget, you got to go like this.
yeah, like okay.
All right.
Okay.
Number 9 on the list was Ava DuVernay,
No, not
director and filmmaker known for her work on titles including 13th, When They See Us, Selma, and Middle of Nowhere. She was the first Black woman to win the directing award at the Sundance Film Festival and was the first Black woman to be nominated for both a Golden Globe Award for Best Director and the Academy Award for Best Picture.
That sounds like fairly recent. Was that? Does it say?
She doesn't give
Last
us a year.
10, 15 years?
Doesn't
20
give me a
maybe?
year. I'm gonna.
44.
Did you just look that up, or you're just throwing years
You're
at
just
me?
throwing the
He's
years.
listen, whenever we don't have an answer, he just throws out Ralph Nader. So remember
Right,
where the source
for
is
anything.
coming from. So okay, I'm skipping through because I'm watching the clock. I want to make sure we have time for the other stories
Okay.
that we were talking about. Also on the list, Eleanor Roosevelt.
Which is deserved.
She was the longest serving first lady of the United States, but did
Ever.
much more. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
he was elected 4 times straight.
She was, although it was a bit taboo for a first lady to speak on such issues in the 60s, she was outspoken about civil rights. After leaving office, she went on to become the United States' first delegate of the United Nations, where she served on the UN Commission on Human Rights.
And you do know that throughout history, American history, presidents, there's been certain wives along the way that have had to help their husbands in certain ways.
Yep.
There was always rumors about certain things, but she definitely, because FDR had some health issues.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure she stepped in and did a lot of things.
Michelle Obama.
Okay.
All right. She was obviously a successful lawyer. She became the first woman of color to become First Lady of the United States. She was an advocate for health initiative, access to higher education, and international education opportunities.
Unfortunately, their show on Netflix got canceled, so I'm just throwing that out there. Just
Well, you would think that they would have no problems with sponsors.
right.
Hint. Sonia Sotomayor. After graduating from Yale Law School, she served as the assistant district attorney in New York before she was nominated for the U.S. District Court by President George H.W. Bush.
Right.
So she became the first Hispanic and Latina justice to serve on the United States Supreme Court after she was nominated by President Obama.
She's still there.
So there you go. So those are just some of the notable women that we're asked to keep in mind.
Right. Very good. And
I got two more.
It's a great list.
I got two more. Three more, because I'll do one in absentia for Rick.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Our
Smart
wives.
move.
Our wives.
Smart move. Hey, I'm the one that suggested it off camera. No, I'm lying. I'm lying. No, good move, though.
That's
Eric.
right. All wives and females of the significant persuasion on the other half of our lives, whatever. I don't know.
What's the saying? Behind every successful man, and I hate the word behind, alongside of a successful man is a good supporting wife.
And whose mother-in-law is laughing their asses off. Too.
Right.
I'm just surprised they don't kill us all in our sleep.
Right, exactly. Well, I've learned the one-eye open trick when sleeping. Anyway, hey, you know what time it is? It's time for our first break.
Already?
Yeah, right now. Are you ready, Mr.
man.
Producer?
I'm ready.
All right. Again, today's show is being brought to you by Planet Harvest Health. Please make sure you check them out. Information will be coming up, planetharvesthealth.com. You're watching the Roundtable. The mouth, the voice, and the Hall of Famer. He's not here today. I'm a Hall of Famer, but that's different.
You are.
You're watching the Roundtable. We'll be right back.
2 Hall of Famers. I got work to do.
Anxiety, depression, PTSD, ADHD, pain, inflammation, dealing with mental or physical health issues, or know someone who is? Relax, refresh, recover, revive. Natural health alternatives using hemp-derived CBD and other cannabinoids found in hemp are increasingly becoming more effective in managing various symptoms that affect your body, state of mind, and daily life. Planet Harvest Health's mission is to help those looking for natural, new, and better solutions for a healthier way of life, specializing in small batch, handcrafted alternatives, providing higher quality and a cost-effective product. Go to planetharvesthealth.com for more information and education on how we can help.
Are you looking for someone to provide training to your staff? Do you need a motivational speaker about how to handle change? Do you have an upcoming event that needs an MC to handle those responsibilities? Well, look no further than longtime Las Vegas radio personality Aaron Phillips. I am local to Las Vegas and I can blend my talents with any audience. For more information, please visit www.aaronphillipsvoice.com and book me for your next event or training needs.
Hey, welcome back to the Round Table. Although we're sitting at a half-moon table, we'll still call it a round table. Want to send a hello out there to Rick Upchurch. He's taking care of business out in Tennessee. We appreciate his efforts, but we miss him. We miss the big dog tonight. And Donna, I hope your foot's doing better.
Right. I hope she's walking okay.
Well, yeah. I hope she is getting around Tennessee. You're not going to be exactly, I don't know where, but he could be in a hotel doing presentations.
Right.
Not that far to go. All right. You found a couple of interesting articles that we were chatting about that you want to bring up for discussion, especially one regarding a Las Vegas resident.
Yes, who is now a Las Vegas resident. Yes, who just recently Mark Wahlberg.
Marky
Mark, and the Funky Bunch, if I remember right. He moved here just a few months ago. He really wants to make this the new Las Vegas or Hollywood. He wants to build a studio here, and I've been hearing that stuff for years. About 1988, late 80s, he was 16 years old. He got in trouble. He was with a couple other buddies. They robbed and beat up 2 Vietnamese immigrants in Boston. And they were throwing out the racial epitaphs, whatever they call it and all that stuff. He served some time as a juvie. But last week were the SAG Awards, the Screen Actors Guild Awards. And I get to vote on them because, thank God, being a member, and they send me the movies and all that stuff. Well, he actually was tapped as a presenter for Best Picture, I believe. There's 5 or 6 nominees. One of the films, and again, I don't remember the actual title, but it was a largely Asian cast. Jamie Lee Curtis actually won Best Actress for that movie. But he had announced the winner of the film, and it was that movie, the Asian movie that won.
Okay.
And was it Michelle Yeoh? I think was the director, first
Okay.
Asian female to
believe
win
so.
to win an Oscar or to win a SAG award. And the internet went crazy. I guess they have they have a pretty good memory. I guess most of the people, but most people don't even know about this incident that Mark Wahlberg had.
Right.
But he gave the award for Best Picture for the Screen Actors Guild Awards, and the internet went crazy. Why is he presenting an award to an Asian community when he was put in jail for beating up Vietnamese immigrants? That's 35 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He's changed a lot. He's grown up. He's in his early 50s now.
Right.
He's a self-proclaimed Christian man now.
Mm-hmm.
He moved to Vegas. Why do people keep bringing up this stuff? Not just him. I just brought that up because it was just recently in the news. You know, we have athletes or actors that now, for instance, Dustin Hoffman. Now some woman came out 50 years later that she was sexually harassed on the film of Tootsie or something. I mean, this has got to stop. This stuff's got to stop. That's all. There's no anything other than this. There's no other political this, that.
Right.
It's just got to stop, man.
What
are your thoughts on
Well,
that?
I think part of all of this is, again, the world of social media. And I remember Herm Edwards, who's now back with ESPN, great Philadelphia
Right.
Eagle. Although I shouldn't say great because he returned the Joe Pisarcik
He
fumble
did.
against my Giants. However, he always used to say, because a lot of athletes are known for, especially college athletes, are known for putting stuff up there that shouldn't be.
Right.
And his line was, "Don't hit send."
Right.
So, I guess people want to do this stuff, for notoriety, and perhaps some of these people are digging up these stories money hungry, right? They want the quick lawsuit, whatever it is. So I think a lot of these things are brought up for a lot of different reasons. I agree. I mean, how old was Wahlberg? What, 14, 16? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that what he said was justified at the time, okay? And I really don't want to make excuses because we can almost apply some excuses to kids today that are
Right.
doing things even worse than that.
Wait.
I mean, that's a racist comment. What
Yeah.
he did, it's terrible. But you've got shootings, you've got kids going into elementary schools with guns, you got all this stuff happening. That I think you're right. I think there has to be like a grandfather in unofficial period where, okay, he made a mistake at 16. He's apologized. He's been reformed since then, so to speak.
Right.
Let's just move on. But again, when this stuff is out there from you said what, early 80s?
1988.
Okay, so late 80s. That's at the height of social media really starting to take off, though.
Well, I don't even know if it was around then. I mean, you didn't have, computers weren't
We had
even.
MySpace. No. Well, computers
Weren't
were.
even.
Yeah,
MySpace?
sure they were.
No,
Well,
late 80s.
Computers.
Personal
late
PCs at home,
Yeah.
late 80s?
Yeah.
No, I think maybe.
I'm going to check it.
Yeah, please do. I know that companies and big corporations had them, but it wasn't in PCs, personal computers in the homes until I would think the early 90s even.
1977.
Jesus, personal computers at
Personal
home?
computer industry truly began in 1977 with the introduction of 3 pre-assembled, mass-produced personal computers: the Apple computer, now Apple II, and this brings back memories, the Tandy Radio Shack TRS-80.
So what, they were as big as the table? I mean,
John?
I don't remember any of that.
So
Wait, this must be important. He's actually turned his mic on.
Oh, he did?
when I was 19 years old,
Yes.
Oh,
my
geez.
uncle paid me to kill a bunch of Vietnamese.
In when?
When I was 19 years old,
Oh, okay.
my uncle paid me
I
to
get-
kill a bunch of Vietnamese.
Okay,
I got you.
okay,
So,
I
I
heard the
get
word uncle.
Mark Wahlberg ain't got nothing on the rest of us.
Okay, right,
In case he's referring to an uncle we all have in common,
yes,
Uncle Sam.
right. As soon as he
I
said
had a
it, I went,
grandfather,
ding.
Sam.
I went,
but-
ding.
That's right.
Yeah.
I had to hear it the second time.
Right.
Yeah,
But
that figures.
yeah, I know. It's terrible. But yeah, so 1970. But look, computers. I remember the Tandy box
Okay.
from Radio Shack. Holy crap!
I don't remember any of that back then.
But even in 77 to 88, that's 11 years. And
Right.
so by that point, I mean, who remembers this? If you had email, it was AOL.
And I don't even remember that early. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I never
so-
had- well,
But social media being different than having a personal computer and
Right.
only AOL really at the time was nothing then like
Right.
what we know it today.
Right.
And so the fact that even somebody, I don't know who reported that story about Wahlberg, but there had to have been either somebody that was in the vicinity of what he said at that time, right?
Or
the family, or the victim's family.
Yeah, that or police records or whatever. Yeah,
But usually police records are not necessarily
right, especially
public.
for juveniles.
Right.
But the story came out later on after he had made it. So
Right.
it's been out there. But no, just stories like that. We all, like you said, we all make mistakes, some worse than others. Yeah, that was a pretty bad one when you're a young kid, but he's reformed himself on his own. And it just bugs me when people come out 40 years later, 30 years later about something that happened that, so what?
Well, again, I mean, we can even look at other situations. I'm not trying to compare his to anybody else's. Bill Cosby, most revered actor and father figure for many, many, many years until those stories came out and he was found guilty on it. I'm not saying that.
Right.
But here's a guy that could never be reformed enough to be revered in the public again.
Well, in his case, he crafted his whole career around that. The lovable Dr. Huxtable, family man.
Jello.
Yeah, Jello pudding pops. Hey kids, how are you? All this stuff was Fat Albert. All this stuff. His whole career was built to hide the other side.
Right.
And I think, what was the daughter's name on the Cosby Kid, the oldest one?
Claire? No, that was the wife.
The oldest daughter, she mysteriously disappeared after a few years after the show.
Right.
She came out, she went and did a few movies, but she came out later on accusing him of
improprieties.
Right. And nobody believed her.
Right. Wow.
Oh, you're talking about Dr. Huxtable, Bill Cosby. It's impossible.
That's right. So, I mean, stuff that, look,
yeah.
There was a pitcher who pitched in the major leagues for the Dodgers and the Yankees, Steve Howe.
Yeah.
Did drugs, cocaine. He was given 8 chances to continue his career. Unfortunately, passed away, succumbing to all of that.
Right.
But I think you're right. I think there should be a time period where we say, look, here's a guy, made a mistake at 15, 16. He's reformed. Don't we say that about people coming out of prison too? They've served their time.
Prison reform.
Right. You know, but many of them,
right.
I don't know statistics. So again, I may be speaking way out of turn here, but the number of those who do come out and have turned a new leaf and become a better person, whatever, you know, they're still being held accountable for something that they've served their time for and they've moved on. I agree. I think certain things like this, bad taste, a 16-year-old mind at that time.
Right.
I totally agree with you. I think that should be something that should just be.
And you may never forget, but you can forgive.
Sure.
And, you know, life goes on. So, and he's trying to make that up, you know, throughout his life and the choices he's made as raising a nice family and moved here to get away from the California life. So,
hey, Patrick, thanks for jumping into the chat room. Appreciate it. 702-992-3207. If you'd like to call, we'd love for somebody to call and say hello, add to our conversation, or better yet, give us your opinion on let's say, a more live version of America Speaks. If you have a topic out there that you want to share your thoughts on and get our comments on, do so. Call us. We want to say hello, hear from you, 702-992-3207.
You know, it's funny, you give out the phone number in today's world with just talking about technology.
Yeah.
People would much rather just text than actually call and talk anymore.
I'm one of them.
Really?
Well, you know,
I like to hear people's voices, and I can't tell what kind of mood you're in, or sarcasm or this, unless I'm hearing your voice.
That is absolutely 1,000% correct. Texts don't carry the emotions of
now,
a
after
statement.
you've established a relationship with somebody, then text, hey, I'll be there at 8, or I'll come over tomorrow.
But I have to say, it also depends on scheduling. Right. For instance, the 3 days that I'm in a school from 7 a.m. to 2:15, I can't really take calls. Yeah, I can get voicemails. I can't call, depending upon who it is, though.
Right.
I'll send a quick text to keep the communication lines going.
Right, I'll call you later.
Or quite frankly, I text when there's people I don't want to hear from on phones, like George. Anyway.
Comedy at its finest.
No, but like you said, though, if you have the relation, like you and I and Rick, I mean, we text.
We have a little mass text.
We're talking about stuff, but you're right. I get yelled at by some people within my circles. You really should call so that we stop all the chain texting.
Yeah.
Well,
especially when it's long. If it's a quick sentence or two, but then you get in a conversation. I don't want the conversation part.
That's what my friend does. After a while of all
I'm
the
like,
messages.
what the? And then I misspell them in a hurry, and boom, boom. I look back at it after I send it, and it turns into something else.
Spell check is terrible.
Yeah.
Voice. Do you have voice to text on your phone?
Yeah, but I don't do that. Denise likes to do the voice text.
I do also. I use it rarely. but it's so terrible when you when you're trying to say a message and the wrong word comes up and you realize it when? After you hit send.
Right.
You
Don't
know,
hit send.
that's right.
I was just going to say that.
Exactly. Like, what if you wanted to put the word, I saw the baseball player lay down a good bunt,
Right. So if you're to lay down a good bunt,
but then
and then it
it's
comes out butt.
or
you know,
something else.
Right. Lay
That's
down
not
a
the
good
word I
butt.
was thinking. John knew what I was thinking about. I'll fill you in during commercial
Okay,
break.
please do.
But yeah, there are other, or how about this one? I've done this before. You have friends of the same first name,
Okay.
and they're back to back in your contacts list.
Oh, you're sending the wrong one.
And you send it to the wrong one. Oh my Lord! And then by the time you realize it, the person who got it incorrectly, they're calling you back, especially if you're talking bad about that person.
Honey, that message was for the other Denise.
That's
Right.
Exactly. But no, but again, this is the way our society's become. We're just lightning fast, texting, even emailing back and forth during the day is not as fast as people will say, you know what, I don't check my emails off and just text me.
Yeah, I'm more that way too. I'm not a big email checker. I do, but then I'll come
Try
home
having
and there's
7 different accounts.
500-600 emails. I'm going, wait a second. You know,
Try having
most-
7 or 8 different accounts that you have to do.
Why? Why? I mean, maybe one for business, one for personal.
Well, how many shows do you know that I'm involved in?
Well, okay. 4 or
Okay,
5
and then
of them.
work,
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
school,
Okay.
family, personal.
All right.
I still have Vegas Unwrapped.
Then triple that.
And then triple that, exactly.
Right.
But
right.
but that's just, and here's the funny thing, they're all on my phone too. I can get them all on my phone,
Right.
so I can manage them here. But anyway,
Ding, 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 ding,
so
ding, ding.
that's why it's on mute. I don't even put it on vibrate
But, so
anymore.
where do you think society's going to go 50 years from now with all this? I mean, are we even going to be able to, we'll be able to read each other's thoughts without even speaking? Do you think actual
Well-
speaking will go away? Well,
I
yeah,
know.
I guess in some ways.
We can get in more trouble by
What's going
our
to happen?
minds being.
Oh my God, I'd be in trouble. I'd be dead already if somebody
I
would
wouldn't
have
be able
shot
to
me
get
or
out of the
killed me.
house.
Right. That's
I don't
coming
know,
though.
I don't know if it's going to get to that point, but how much more could it get? Because I remember growing up, and you remember, and I know you, John, I'm sure you do too, the Dick Tracy, right? The watch,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
How many, back in the 60s, early 70s, when I was watching, or you read the comics,
Wow, cool.
oh, he's talking on his phone. Well, guess what? Fitbit users or the Galaxy,
I watch.
right? I have the Galaxy Fitbit watch where I can get my emails and calls and everything. And sometimes it's really weird talking into your wrist. The problem is when I wear it to school and I don't want the notifications of all the emails
Ding,
and texts
ding.
coming through,
Right.
even though I mute the sound, my wrist is vibrating when I'm
Right.
walking down the school. It's like Cousin It, you know? So I've
Right.
even stopped wearing it. So who knows? Maybe everything will be in a little earpiece soon. I mean, think about where cell phones came from.
Well,
We used to have
remember
the
Star
big brick.
Trek? Remember Star Trek?
Star Trek, the little communicator.
Yeah.
Say, I'm sorry.
John has his hand up. Little Johnny in the back of the class.
We recognize John.
Going along that road, there was a movie that came out in the late 60s, early 70s called The President's Analyst
Okay.
with James Coburn.
Okay.
Okay, great.
If you get a chance, see that movie.
What's it called? The President's
The
Analyst?
President's Analyst.
Hey, just go on IMDb and look it up. James Coburn, what a great actor. he
Oh,
is.
yeah.
It was brilliant. It was
Yeah.
a brilliant film. And-
Robert De
and-
Niro would say the President's Analyst. He'd look at you and say, analyze this.
Yes.
Right.
Which he did, by the way, in 2 movies.
Yes, he did.
But yeah, it's a great question. I mean, because at this time, everybody was expecting to have flying cars. The Jetsons, right?
Well, that will happen. That's,
Eventually. But I think people expected it to be like now.
Right. No,
Back-
that's 100 years.
You think so you don't think we'll see flying cars?
In our lifetime,
Yeah.
the next 20, 30 years? No, I don't
No?
know. You've already seen, I saw a guy on a hoverboard.
Right.
The other flying hoverboard. Yeah, that stuff, it might start trickling in, but
Mhm.
the car took 20, 30 years.
Well, they're just
before
coming out with
people
electric cars.
Yeah,
So
it's another, when they have an electric car that can go 1,000 miles on a charge, maybe then I'll consider it.
that I agree with.
I mean, we have one. Denise drives one, but it's perfect for around town for
Right.
her.
And my wife's car is the same way.
Yeah.
Same way. Although they'd have to have a really long extension cord if you want to get a lot more miles to keep your car charged. I mean, think about it, back in the day when you used to, plan a trip, you'd go to AAA, get the trip ticks or the maps,
Right.
you're having to plan based on, well, if I
We're gonna
drive 8
stop
hours,
here.
right, stop
We'll
here.
stop there and have the hotel.
Now, if you have a Tesla as an example, you have to know where the Tesla charging units are because, like you said, 300 miles maybe maximum. Some are more, some are less. It's crazy how life has changed.
You can
because of
probably
all these
get to
things.
LA in a Tesla without charging.
200. Well, it's about what
350,
250 miles on the
300,
charge.
yeah.
I'm talking about.
Well, 400, I think, on a Tesla.
Is that what it is now?
I think
Depending
on a
okay.
Tesla, yeah.
Well, then yeah, you can certainly do that.
They'll
Right.
be putting one in Baker soon.
Oh, what, a charging center?
Well, they
Oh,
have to.
But they have the charging stations at gas stations now
Right.
and other places.
Supermarkets.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
the Super Walmart near my house has a whole row of them.
Yeah.
Mhm. By the way, the voice you're hearing is JPEG, or John, our producer and owner of Worldwide Digital
JPEG?
Broadcasting.
JPEG?
His initials, JPG
Oh,
Styles.
okay.
See, it's a name I gave him when we did Vegas and Rap
Okay.
with Ricky.
JPEG.
That's
So they
right,
take
because
pictures.
he does
Okay.
pictures.
Yeah.
So John and I, and John, because of many of our topics, we were talking last week, and he said, you guys hit such great topics that I don't want to get involved in sharing my comments and thoughts. And so I said to him last week, I said, dude,
I think it's awesome.
share it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
And
that's
now he's created a monster.
I have.
Right.
I've created more monsters than I care to shake.
The
a
round
stick at.
table with Styles.
That's right.
Whoa.
Oh, did I
whoa.
just screwed that up? Uh-oh. Forget I
We've
said that.
Yeah.
We've now merged two shows.
Right.
There goes all your views.
That's it.
Jesus.
Doggone it. All right. What's the other topic you got?
Oh, I got everything.
Did you have another, or you want to
Well,
save it for America Speaks?
Well, America Speaks too. But
Okay.
how about the funny? We'll go into that too with that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. The book came out, 2-3
Okay,
weeks
yeah, I
ago. I
saw
think
that.
we discussed it. Well, that's coming with America Speaks.
Okay.
King Charles' father is not a happy man.
Oh,
so
sorry.
we're going to read America's comments on the dynasty in England and see
Okay.
what they say.
So why don't I go over the street
Please.
names? Then
Yeah.
we'll go to break a little early.
Yeah, do the street
And it
names.
gives us plenty of time for America
Cool.
Speaks. All right. So this was an article that it says, if you're a Las Vegas Strip loyal, you might be flabbergasted with the following information. There are other streets people want to see more than the Las Vegas Boulevard.
It's hard to believe.
We have world famous chef restaurants, casinos, the whole thing, Fremont Street. But yet there are more streets that people want to see other than ours. You ready for the list?
Please, I mean,
Champs-Élysées. Yeah.
oh yeah, I knew that.
Champs-Élysées.
Yes,
Right?
Huh?
yeah,
I
Paris.
don't know who's on the list. Number one, again, I'm guessing it's number one down, so I'm going to start with number one. Lombard Street in San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
Is that
That's
the
wine
crooked one?
Right.
That's number one, or is
Well, it's
yeah.
listed number one. I don't know if it's number one.
more
in each,
famous
but-
than the Strip? Okay.
Well, that street's been in a ton of movies, as
yeah,
has the Strip.
Yeah.
But I
okay.
mean, just the novelty.
No, I think
of
it's
what it
cool.
is. You can't even walk it safely without trying to drive
Hell,
down
they
it.
tear your knee up.
How about
Did I just say
how
that?
about Abbey Road in London?
Okay, I get that.
That's a good one.
How about
I get that.
Right?
Yeah.
How about Hollywood Boulevard?
Well,
Okay. Yeah.
I think Hollywood Boulevard would almost be equivalent to the Strip.
Yeah, I
Don't
would
you
say
think?
comparing to make more famous. I don't know,
Right.
as famous maybe.
Right. I agree with that. I think you mentioned this one. I don't know. You or John, one of you did, because it wasn't me. Bourbon Street.
Yes,
in
I did
New
say-
Orleans.
Yeah,
Right,
that.
say New Orleans.
Yeah, Nolans. I say Nolans and NAW. No, I've been on Bourbon Street. I liked it. It's fun. It's a great place to
Were
be.
you on it, like laid out on it? Or?
No, actually, I was in a marching band.
Gotcha. Marching band
Yes, I
For
played
parade?
trombone.
for parade down there?
Yeah, I did
For-
2 years in a row. Early years of my
Did
young
2
life.
years. Sounds
2
like
years in
Justin.
Bourbon Street.
Yeah. What was the name of the street you were trying to say in Paris?
Champs-Élysées.
Which he did say correctly.
CHAMPS.
Patty.
Okay, keep going, Smarty.
Patty.
Well, that's number 6 on the list.
See?
By the way, ELYSEES.
Yeah.
So that is number,
Champs-Élysées.
right, that's what you said. No,
Champs-Élysées.
Actually-
Chance with Lisa.
well, I was going to say something else,
You
but
should
now
move along.
I was going to say, I will now. Yes. Number 7, the Ginza in Tokyo.
See it now. That
don't
must
think
be
so?
something. Well, I don't know. I never heard of it.
You never heard of the
So it's
Ginza?
not more famous than the Las Vegas Strip, in
No,
my
but
opinion.
if you, what, because you haven't heard of it?
Right, correct. Yeah.
You got to get out more. Anyway, no,
Right.
but no, the Ginza, think about how many people there are in Tokyo, right? In
20
Asian
million.
countries, right?
Just
So
in the
there's
city.
there's a shit ton of people out
There
there.
are. That's
And
crazy.
but no, the Ginza. I mean, even I know the Ginza. Come on, now.
Well, I know what a Ginza knife is. Is that the saying? I know what a Ginza girl, a Gucci. What do they call Ginza girls?
Geisha girls.
Geisha.
Geisha.
Oh, I'm on another track. I'm on another train.
Moving along. How about Broadway in New York City?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that would
Yeah,
kind of
Yeah.
reach up there. And the last one that's on this list, Orchard Road in Singapore.
Yeah. I would
Now
be
that I know nothing about.
unfamiliar with Singapore.
It is considered the main shopping street in Singapore. Tourists and locals alike love the street. It has upscale restaurants, nightclubs, shoppings, and hotels. Not to mention, it's where the president of Singapore lives. And at Christmas time, it lights up even brighter than the Strip.
Probably one of those you can see from the International Space Station.
And that's why they get planes landing where they shouldn't. But anyway,
That's right.
we're going to go to break a few minutes early so we can get ready for our favorite segment.
America Speaks.
Because why? It
Didn't
gives
bring
us
my-
an opportunity, to respond to them, right?
Right. What the goal is to read your comments, America, on certain topics, and then we comment on the comments.
So if we get shut down, it'll be your fault.
Exactly. It's
Anyway,
America's fault.
You're watching the Roundtable. That is George. I'm Aaron. We are missing Rick Upchurch. We'll hopefully have him back next week in the studio.
Tackle him.
Again, today's show, courtesy of Planet Harvest Health. We appreciate their support. Make sure you call them down there, James and Billy. They're the owners. Their card is, let's see if I can do this without hurting myself. Look at that. I did it right there. Woohoo! I'll learn this. Yeah, there you go. We'll be right back. Hopefully, maybe, possibly. Who cares?
I'm going to tackle Rick. Oh, he just disappeared.
I'm Matt.
I'm Chief.
And I'm Aaron, and together we are
Thoughts count anywhere.
Join us every Saturday from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time.
right here on WWDBTV Network and all the shows that are available for you to watch. And why is that?
Because the Chief says so.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
We are back, everybody.
God help us.
The voice and the mouth. We are back for America Speaks. We're going to do an intro for that, a new intro for that. I like the crowd and everything, but
Let's
we're
get-
going to have to do a new one.
John put so much effort into that intro.
He
though.
did.
Let's
Let him play it. Let
Roll
him play
All
it.
right, here it comes.
Roll it. America Speak.
That's right. America Speaks. This is a segment where you, America, give us your opinion on certain topics. And then the voice and I will comment on the comments. So we will see where we're going to go.
John can even chime in.
Yeah, John, I would love to hear John comment.
No, you wouldn't.
Okay, well, why not? You have a mind like me, sick and unfiltered. All right, everybody
Ralph
knows.
Nader. What?
Right. Everybody knows
Yes.
a couple of weeks ago that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle had a book that came out.
Mhm.
Now, again, it wasn't a very flattering book to the royal family. And if I were Harry, first of all, get rid of her. But that's my opinion. But the goal is we want to find out, we understand King Charles and the family are extremely unhappy with the book.
Oh, yeah.
So from what I understand, King Charles has taken their house away at Frogmore Estates.
Oh.
They have to move out by summertime. So
They're being
apparently
evicted.
they're being evicted by his own father from $1 million property, whatever it is. But yeah, Harry and Meghan, I guess they didn't expect Hollywood to be, they were hoping for something different.
Mm-hmm.
And even Hollywood now is going, well, wait a second, man, you guys are kind of screwing everything up. But these are comments, your comments, America, about Harry and Meghan and the book and how you feel about what they've done and so far since they've left the monarchy. Oil Mank, oil, M-A-N-C-T, Manked, just now. He put that is exactly what I've done. That a boy, King Chuck. That a boy, King Chuck.
Do you have any excerpts from the book? I mean, are you aware off the top of your head? Do you research?
No, I haven't really
Okay.
researched the book or read it,
Okay.
but I know that they've said a lot of bad things. They actually said one of the members of the royal family is racist, but they wouldn't say the
Who?
name.
Right.
They wouldn't say it. And I don't think it's true. I think they're just saying crap. And
Okay.
Meghan, being that way. All right, here's from John Kern, 69. Andrew is upset that Frogmore feels like a step down from his current house. Maybe Andrew should just be happy he's not in a 10 by 10 U.S. prison cell. That comment is due because King Charles is Andrew's brother, and he was going to give him the property and let him live there instead of Harry and Meghan.
Okay.
All right. Be bold. That royal family has way too much drama. Perhaps don't most of us. So, yeah, again, we all have our own little family drama, but they're on such a world stage here. I don't think most Americans really care.
There you go.
I really
exactly what
don't.
I just had in my head.
Most of us don't.
Unless if Princess Diana were still alive right now,
Right.
then I think America would care more. But right now, I don't care what's going on.
Right. Here's David. Well, I do. I only do because I like to see people's lives that are.
Blow up? You mean blow up?
Yeah, blow up or worse off than mine, although I can't really say that. But David3755 says, biting the hand that feeds you has consequences. No sympathy from him. And again, I agree. I have no sympathy.
Where's the brother, the prince's brother, that we don't hear from anymore?
Prince William?
Yeah.
Oh, him and Kate Middleton are on their way there. He's going to be the king after King Chuck dies.
Gotcha.
King Chuck.
Chuck
I actually like that.
That actually
King
sounds like
Chuck.
food. That actually sounds like dog food.
Yes, sir.
So I just figured it out. Okay. The two brothers are in this together. They're trying to get the old man to have a heart attack so the other brother can take over, right?
That would make sense if the brothers weren't at each other's throats right now.
No. That's eight.
Are you thinking
wrestling?
Oh yeah, okay.
Back off my wrestling.
Here. Okay, you make it like this, and then
I
I'll
want to know
make
if
it look
Jerry
like.
Springer is Jerry Springer the court jester? That's what I
Right.
wanna know.
Well, no, Prince William is a totally different guy than Harry.
Yeah.
You know, Harry's more like his mother.
Right.
You know, the black sheep. He wants to think. Now, I will tell you, I know that Princess Diana and King Chuck had affairs on each other.
Right.
She had an affair with a guy, Major Hewitt. If you look at pictures of him and Harry side by side, you swear to God that Harry is his son. I mean, there's no way to prove it, but it'd be stupid not to go, oh my God, not, just 90% chance that it looks like him, but they say it's not, so whatever. Here's our Melora Furdy. King Charles is old school. France better keep an eye out. Whatever that means. France has never won a war, so I don't think they'll have to
they don't
worry
like
about
Americans, so
Right.
the only thing good from there was French fries.
Well, Ted17 says Harry and Meg have no place to stay. Well, there's always an Econo Lodge. That's a good one.
We'll leave the light on for you.
Right. Isn't that what it is? Yeah, Cook Guy says it's a pretty sad statement that King Charles has to deal with entitled children. They are embarrassing and should be discarded for their impropriety.
Could you imagine if everybody in the world did that with their kids, regardless of standing?
Discarded is one word. But again, even though King Charles had a great life and, you could consider him being entitled, being part of, but he worked. There were things that they did that they had to do to give back to their country and to the world because of their lucky break of being born into the circle that they were born in. And Harry didn't want to do. I think Harry would have been just fine if he hadn't met Meghan Markle.
Okay.
We'll read one more and then we're going to go on to the next one.
All right.
We got Wake AF. I'm assuming that means wake as fuck. I'm assuming.
I'm guessing.
That. Yeah. Andrew, Harry, and Meghan are pretty picky about their free housing.
That's a good one.
That's a really good
free.
One. That's right. I mean, why would you, complain about that kind of stuff? All right, we're moving on to the next level of inhumanity. Here we go. We all remember the infamous slap of Will Smith to Chris Rock about a year ago now.
Is it a year already?
Almost. March. Yeah, the Oscars are another month from now.
Wow, I can't believe it's a year.
Well, from what I understand, they have extra protection at the Oscars this year for in case something happens. Now, ever since he did
like that?
Yeah.
Snipers.
Well, yeah. Well,
John, is your phone rung?
First
of all, your phone? Be up in the balcony?
I will tell you that, ever since Will Smith did that, over the last year, there have been several instances of audience members jumping on a stage and assaulting a comic for something that they've said. This has happened several times now over the last year.
Okay.
It's crazy. So I guess Will Smith, he was filming this new movie called Emancipation. It didn't go to the theaters. It went straight to Paramount
Streaming.
Plus, Amazon, that kind of thing.
Okay.
He says he was spit on by a white actor on the set of that film.
Okay.
Okay. So now we're going to go to some of the comments that are going to have,
Does he know why he was spat on, or just that the person
just
did
some
it? Just
some
random,
random actor came up, walked by and spit on him. They escorted the guy out and kicked him off the movie
a
set.
random loogie. There's nothing
Right.
worse than that.
Now we all could assume we know what it was
Sure.
about,
Sure.
but well, here's some guy goes politically erect. Then let's go to war. Okay. All right.
God.
Here's Punisher 747. It's all Trump's fault.
Okay.
Okay. Here, guys, a guy named Sir Toots. I believe Will Smith about as much as I believe my ex-wife. Now, I will tell you, Will Smith, I think, has filed for divorce. I'm thinking
I heard
it's
that.
way overdue. Again, there's another man whose wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, is a wacko. Her and Megan should go on tour together. Called
The
the
Odd
Wacko
Couple?
Tour. Yeah. The Odd
So here's the thing, though. So here we are a year ago, and I guess their relationship has not been solid for a while. Is that
right,
kind of what
for
you're
a
alluding
while,
to?
even before.
Okay. So he went and put on the armor, the knight in shining armor, to
Right.
protect his wife. Why do that if things are not good?
Well,
Public appearances to protect his wife, or
if you see that comment in that part of the Oscars, that moment,
right?
everybody laughed at the joke, including
Jada.
Will Smith.
Oh, Will Smith. Jada was kind of stone-faced.
She was
wasn't
kind of stone-faced, but Will Smith laughed. It was a funny joke. It was funny. It
You gotta
wasn't
realize when
anything
you're at those things, you're a
right.
target, right?
And it wasn't a joke where he felt, and then he looked over at her, and she was like, stone-faced. If looks could kill, so then he felt obligated
Gotcha. Okay.
to do what he did.
To fall on the sword.
Right. And that was a bad thing to do. Again, I'm glad he's getting out of that because, again, I don't excuse what he did or a lot of other things along the way, but he's always been a good actor, a good, solid guy. And she's just made his life crazy.
So let me ask you this question, though. Okay. If you're out in public with your wife, with Denise, or I'm out with my wife, and again, you and I, as much as we want to be, not exactly the star power of Will Smith
Right.
and Chris Rock. If somebody does something to besmirch the good honor of our significant others,
I'm going to defend.
damn right.
But not, that was it was a joke. It was funny.
I'm not
But
thinking,
it all depends. And if it was something really bad, of course.
but we also know today's society is a lot more prickly when it comes to jokes.
Right.
What may be funny to you and me, like, listen, do you think Don Rickles could be a successful comic this day and age if he did the exact same kind of stuff?
Hell no.
Eddie
He's
Murphy
still
from the 70s,
right.
you think he can go out, or
Richard Pryor? Oh no, hell no.
So that's, I
But
think,
it's wrong.
Right.
So we've got to fix it somewhere
Absolutely.
along the way.
Absolutely.
All right, Army 30. So Will doesn't like it when an actor tries to play his part.
Oh, jeez. That's a good one.
That's because what was the movie where Django?
Mhm.
He got to spit on a bunch of white guys.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Here's a couple more. Rock'em Sock'em. Will Smith is the LeBron James of actors. He thinks he is a privileged one and better than all.
Wow.
Wow. Well, I'm not going to agree totally with all that. LeBron, totally different story. We can do that
We'll
next
leave
time.
that for another day.
Jay Smith. LeBron is better than all other NBA players
Wait,
right
Jay
now.
Smith? Jada Pinkett Smith?
Right. No, Joe says J.J. Smith.
Oh,
It could,
J.J.
could be. Who knows? It could be. Says LeBron is better than all other NBA players right now. Will Smith is not better than all other actors. Chris Rock is better than all other comedians.
I don't know about that.
Me neither. I like Chappelle. He's probably one of the better ones now. Okay, if you've got female independent voter, it's really difficult to transport a modern mind to that time period. It's difficult to imagine that level of inhumanity. Well, thank you for acknowledging that slavery is no more in the U.S. and that you have a much better life than those none of us ever met. So many people like to think they're living deprived lives, when in reality, anyone who puts their mind to it can be successful in America. And I agree with that totally. Even who else said that? Morgan Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
He was interviewing somebody, or somebody was interviewing him, and he goes, well, what about all these kids from the inner city that never have to get a chance
Right.
and never get to do anything? And Morgan Freeman just sat back and looked at him. Bullshit. Meaning, if you work hard enough, you can get. Is it harder to get out
Sure.
of certain places in life than others? Sure.
Well,
but
when
if
he
you
makes
really
that
want
comment,
it,
you can always follow up and say, God has spoken.
yes, that's right. Comedy at its finest. And again, I'm out of work.
That's all right.
All right.
Tip your waiters and waitresses on the way out.
Rennie Cola 978 says, shows the mindset of the event. He made a point of stating the other actor was white, and we're now just hearing about this. Okay, whatever that means. You got arrest clause Schwab. Yeah, I wonder if Smith has been talking with Smollett lately. Jesse, what's the
From
other?
Empire.
Yeah, right.
He staged his own attack.
Right. See, and that's why the country's in the
Right.
shape. I'm not saying
That was
everybody's not
ridiculous.
deserved, but that's
That story, I don't know what was in his mind at the time.
well.
Right.
First of all, two white guys going out for Subway at 2 a.m. in a raging Chicago snowstorm. That part right off the bat, I went, no fucking way they're going to Subway.
That's when you
at
better
2.
have DoorDash's number.
Right. I was going to say, hey, they can have that shit delivered. Isa Pilot says, me thinks that he's trying to rehabilitate his image from thug to victim. There you go. All right, we'll do a couple more comments and then we'll close it out with whatever the voice would like to do. We have Nursing Home Joe 869, and the winner of the Jussie Smollett, the White Man Did Me Wrong Award goes to Will Smith. We'll end it on that one. How about that? Thank you, America, for your comments. I always love reading them because it doesn't get me or the voice in trouble. It won't get you in trouble either. So that's why I like doing this segment, because
Absolutely.
some of these comments I agree with, some I don't, but we're giving all the credit to you, America.
That's right.
So thank you very much. We will do you next week. And
Wait a minute.
we'll do you. Is that what I said?
Little
We'll do you
dab-
next week.
Little dab will do you?
Yeah, we'll do you. A little dab of G-Man will do you.
Now lay down a fun.
That's
Right. A bunt? Is that what he said?
Yes.
Okay.
Based on bad
All right.
typing.
Okay.
So if there is a topic that you'd like us to talk about or have thoughts on anything that goes on around the world that you want to make your comment, we'll address it, talk about it in America Speaks right here on the RoundTable Facebook page would be great. Or you can email us at theroundtablelv@gmail.com and send us your thoughts or give us a topic that you'd like us to maybe chew on during our show. We'll be happy to do that. By the way, I have a guest lined up for next week, by the way.
Oh, cool.
It just happened as I was coming here. I'll fill Rick in. So, we've been talking about all the health-related stuff, everything
Sure.
to keep us healthy. But what happens when we're not healthy? And the time comes when we go on, we pass, right? How many people are ready to do that? Passing away is not cheap for the people left behind.
Is this like a what do they call it? The final needs type
Correct.
of thing.
But the lady who I'm bringing on does work, and I'm part of that. I bought a plan a couple of years ago. But she also has a program called the Permission Mission, meaning in general terms, and I'm not looking to take any thunder away from her, give yourself permission to deal with tragedy in your family. My parents, my grandparents growing up, when someone passed away, you never really talked about it.
Right.
You just kind of held it in, and you never really talked about, well, what if someone passes away, and what if this happens, what if that happens? And this all came around during the time as I was heavy before, well, it was a little after it, and I had diabetes, I had all the other stuff where it just kind of hit home that anything could happen.
So you're discussing like what final?
Well,
place
like,
of that,
yeah,
closing up your,
Right.
your
Well,
earthly bills.
basically
and
right now, I'm
whatever.
making payment like insurance. I'm making payments that when the day comes, everything is paid for.
Right. So the grieving family doesn't have to worry
Correct.
about.
And if, God forbid, if something happens here and I decide to be buried back in New Jersey, nobody has to worry about the cost to do that.
Right.
But that's what she does. And she had her own experience, which she will share with us, which is also
Cool.
an amazing story. But she has a program called Permission Mission, where it's okay to talk about your feelings when somebody passes, not the burial, not the planning stuff,
Just
but
the
talk
after.
about it, right? The emotion when somebody passes, how to
okay.
deal with it. Because old time ago, our parents, old world parents, nobody talked about that stuff.
Right.
It
You just get
wasn't-
on with
That's right.
life, and that's it.
So Mary McElhatton from Palm Mortuary, who she represents, or Dignity Memorial. Mary, you're going to kill me for next week, but I'll get it right in the promo. She'll be here for next week, and she's a terrific. I saw her at her networking meeting. She was a guest
Yeah,
speaker.
we just
So-
went. When Denise's brother passed, we went to a small place,
Yeah.
and they're associated with Palms.
Right.
But they had all these urns that you can get
Yeah.
and all this stuff. And I think, holy mackerel! I didn't know half that. I was going, what?
Yeah, it's not cheap.
Well, no, actually, the cremation part, it's not bad.
Right.
It was just the after stuff. Well,
Right.
if you want this necklace to put a little,
That's
and
right.
if you
Well,
want
I
that
saw that
part
when Ricky passed away a couple of years ago. Buddy of mine and I, we were down in Arizona with his wife, his widow, and Ricky wanted to be cremated, and she had to decide on the urn. Didn't like anything they had there, so they just literally put the ashes in a box that she traveled across the country with, and then ordered an urn of a baseball player kind of thing. And she ordered the necklace with a little bit of ashes. But even being Jewish, when you're buried in a plain box.
right.
That's a $10,000 funeral just for a plain box. Okay, so
I
it's
saw
expensive.
if a family decides that they don't want to, you have to. I guess state law in Nevada that when you get cremated, you have to be in some kind of container when they cremate you.
Correct.
And they had a cardboard box, $250. I said, honey, that's it. It's a cardboard box.
Just go to the back. Just go behind
They said it
Albertsons.
holds 250 pounds. I said, it's perfect. Just burn it. And then they put your remains. If you don't pick something out, they give you a black box and put you in it and give it to the family.
Jeez,
I said, stick a Raider sticker on the black box and I'm good. Put me up on the mantle, man. $250 plus the cremation. I'm good. $1,500.
There you go. You
There
go
you
behind Albertsons and get a box for free.
Right.
Anyway, all right, we've run a little overtime. We appreciate you letting us keep talking.
Again,
Final thoughts on the way out.
keep your head above water, guys. That's all I can tell you. I know this world is a crazy place. Food prices are going up, gas is up, and all this other stuff going on. Just keep getting up every morning, guys. You'll be okay. We'll just keep on moving.
The day I don't see myself in the mirror is the day I really get concerned. Anyway, as I always, by the way, join us tomorrow for Kiwanis Connects, where Governor Val and I will talk about spring cleaning for your Kiwanis Club. I'm Aaron Phillips reminding you, be kind to everybody. Why is that? We're all we have. We'll see you next time right here, hopefully with Rick Upchurch joining us back in studio, which I'm sure he will on the Roundtable. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
For watching. See ya.
Dong, 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 dong.